Narayana, Om Narayana, Om Narayana, Om Narayana, Om Narayana, Om Narayana, Om Narayana. Hari 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 Narayana, Narayana, Om Narayana.
Jai Gurudev, everybody. I have 14 page of question. And let's see. You see, I like your question. I'm sure they're a wonderful question. I didn't yet go for it. But I would like to interact also with you, which means I will also ask you the question. You see, it's very important, because this is satsang. If I just sit here and just talk, what will be your position into that? Yes, you're listening, or you can appear to be listening, which very often is the case. But when you're interacting, I capture your mind, and then I can be sure you're really listening. That's why I always start by singing to wake you up. Maybe you're tired, you have just eaten, you're having your siesta also. Who knows? So let's interact. You're scared. I see many of you are looking as if something has fallen down. You're searching for something. It's interesting, I guess all of you are on the spiritual path, or you are searching. This is beautiful. The first question, which is here. The first question: do we have to earn God's love? So, how many of you think that we have to earn the love of God? Please. How many of you think that we have to earn the love of God? Lift your hand. None of you. Amazing. And all of you think that we don't need to earn the love of God. Huh? Actually, what is the love of God? Isn't it not the whole creation, it is His love? He didn't create everything out of love. So when you have created something out of love, you put also part of your love into it. A painter, when it is painting, the painter don't think that I am hungry or thirsty. When somebody is fully absorbed into what they are doing, they are putting part of themselves into their creativity. When somebody is dancing, a dancer don't know what is tiredness till they finish. Then it collapses. But when the dancer is fully into the process of dancing, he don't know any tiredness. So when Bhagavan, God have created everything, He have also infused in His own creation part of Himself. He have infused in His creation a degree of His love. Without love, we will not be here. We can express, a mother can be, you see, genetically or biologically, men and women come together, a child is born, but that doesn't mean that that woman become a mother. She may have a child, but motherhood in itself is a different feeling. What make a mother is that love that the mother have for the child. So we say we have to earn the love of God. How do we call God? Prema Swarupa. Na? He is Satchidananda. He is full with Anand, which means He is eternally blissful. That what He have put inside of us. We have a part of that. But the problem is we are Purusha. He is Paramatma. The difference is that we limit ourselves. How we think, how we act, whatever we do with our life, we limit ourselves. That's why we say we have to earn the love of God. It is as if it is something that we can go to the store and buy it. We don't perceive that we have that love inside of us already. We just need to let it manifest for us. He have created everything out of His love, and He have placed a part of Himself in His creation. But does we let it manifest? No? How can we let that happen? This is where we have to purify ourselves. You see, like a mirror which is covered with dust. The mirror is there. You can't say that the mirror is not there. But would you see yourself clearly in that mirror? No, you will not see yourself clearly in that mirror. So our mind is so dusty that we can't reflect, I would not say the heart, because the heart is a bit stubborn. The heart has its own mind of itself. But actually, we are the product of that creator. He is our manufacturer. And He who have manufactured us, there can't be any defect into that. If there is any defect in His manufacturing, then there is a defect into the manufacturer himself. So, the love of God is not to be earned. The love of God is to be manifest for you. And how is the love of God manifest? Firstly, we must realize that we have it. No? If we don't realize it, that we have something, how can we give it? Then we will not be able to give. We will keep searching in everybody else. We keep asking, can you please give me the love of God? Can you please show me the love of God? You keep asking God, please give me the love of, Bhagavan said, I am sitting inside of you. Realize that I am sitting in the core of yourself. I am not out there, I am here, inside. Drop the mind in the heart, you shall find that love. And once you find that love, you start to reflect that love. It's not an easy journey. It's appeared very easy when I'm saying it. You may think that, yes, that sounds very easy, But to drag that mind to that heart, which is 40 centimeter journey, the yogis themselves find it great difficulty. So it is 40 centimeter journey. And that journey can take a multi-lives, not only one life. It can take many lives to do that journey of 40 centimeters. The shortest journey can be the longest one. So it's not about discouraging you. It's about you realizing that grace that you hold inside of you, that grace of love, that grace of life itself is God's love. Without that love of God inside of you, you will not be alive. So train your mind at least to think in that way. And the best way, you see, as your mind is very trained always to think of the past, whatever have happened, why it have happened, why this have had to be with me, why it was not different. You are trained in that way to think, always thinking what you could not have. But if you train your mind to be still in the present moment, you will be able to enjoy every moment of your life. We were in the Ram temple, in the ashram here in Riga. The main deity is Lord Rama. And if you know the story of Ram, you will see that he was a prince, and his stepmother, one of his mother, because the king had 3 wives at that time. So one of the mother said to Rama, you have to go in exile. And being in exile for 14 years, there his wife was kidnapped. Because his wife told him, please, there's a golden deer. You don't find a golden deer very often, He said, wow, it's a very beautiful golden deer. Let's catch it. I want to give it to my sister. So Rama went. Meanwhile, a demon came and kidnapped her. Throughout this journey of Lord Rama, there was not a single time he questioned. Even afterwards, he didn't tell Sita, why did you send me behind that deer? He didn't question his father when the father, being poisoned by the mother, to send him away, for exile. He didn't question his father, said, why are you sending me away? He didn't ask this question. Whatever had happened into his life, he fully accepted. And how he did accept it? He accepted because he was in the present moment. You can accept something only when you are in the present moment. You start to question it. Question is not bad. Question is good. It's good to ask question when it is a right question. But Rama didn't ask any question. No. He knows that whatever it is right. If my father have sent me away, it is right. I have to do that. How many of us are in that state, you know? But we live in that present moment and accept how it is. And yet, we want to earn God's love. When we are living in the past or we are living in the worry of the future, the love of God will not manifest itself. You know? Because that is very human way of thinking. But when we want God love to manifest himself for us, we have to awake that divinity which is inside of us. We have to awake that part which we don't even know with ourselves. You know? It's a part which is mystery to us. You know, as you grow, as a youngsters, when you are small, life look differently to you. But as you grow up, there is certain quality inside of you which manifests, which sometimes can be terrifying when you don't know what is happening to you. When you're going through adolescence, there is many questions which arise inside of your mind, but which is very, so you don't know to whom to address. That same experience can be very joyful and happy, and at the same time it can be very scary. It's the same thing in spirituality, you see. It is the same thing when the love of God manifests himself. Are we ready for God's love to manifest for us? Have we made ourselves ready for that or not? Because you see, it's easy to ask a question, yes, we want to earn the love of God. But it's a journey to earn that, you know. It's a journey for that to manifest, to awake again. And for that, it can be joyful, at the same time, not joyful. That's why I said, you have to be in the present moment. Because in the present moment, if you are, no matter what it is, you will be able to accept it. Because don't think that when it manifests, it will manifest the way you think it is. You know, because I say when we think in our mind, yes, I earn the love of God, or I manifest the love of God. Ah, wonderful. The world become, click of finger, become joyful and happy. It will not be like that. The masters and the saints, through their sadhana, what they go through for that love when it manifests, it is very scary. Meher Baba, when that love, when his Guru Maharaj, his Guru, what was her name now? Babajan, no? Hazrat Babajan. Yes, thank you. When Hazrat Babajan kissed him on the forehead, just a kiss, that was enough to awake what was dormant inside of him. But was he ready for that? No, Babajan have to give because her time was finishing. When that love of God manifests inside of him, he didn't know what to do with that. He was going crazy. When you go to Pune and go to his place, there is a stone. That love was so strong inside of him, he was banging his head on that stone because he could not. You see, your mind, if it's not trained, it's very difficult to contain that. It's a deep challenge inside of you. That's why sadhana is important. Now, when you go step by step under the guidance of the Satguru, little by little, let it manifest through you. Let it reflect through you. Then it shall manifest because you are inheritor of that love. You are inheritor of that divinity. It is not apart from you, it is part of you. And it will stay forever part of you because you are the essence of that love itself. So, let's see. I guess I hope I'm not giving too long answers. You know, nowadays they want only short answers and finish with it. You want short answer, long answer? Okay, good. So when you have long answer, you think you are becoming very intelligent. Why has God arranged it so that we have to go through the cycle of rebirth over and over again? Why can't we be one with God from the beginning? Well, you were with Him from the beginning, and He was with you from the beginning. There's not a single time that He's not with you. Why do we have to seek Him again? Why there is a need for all this game? Wow. I said now, life is not only one time. From the beginning, when you decide to have your own little ego personality, and we attach ourselves to that ego personality, you know, we like to dress in a certain way, we like to look at a certain way, we like to earn certain things, no? Which is not wrong. But the problem is, we get attached so much to the outside. We forget that we have a different reality inside of us, no? How many, you see, when you go on the street, when you walk, this is one question that I always ask myself. How many people think that they have a soul? You are all spiritual people, of course, constantly. From morning till evening, you think about your Atma. Yeah? Yes or no? See? But when you go on the street, you observe the people. And I'm always asking myself, how many people asking themselves that I'm a living being? We take life for granted. We just go through it. No? Like an animal also, just go through it. Very few really come to the point of realizing that life is more but what we are living. There is more to that. We are so busy with everything else, you know. We don't have time. The one thing that very often I encountered, you know, especially when you have questions like this, why God doesn't make us realize right now? Do you think He don't have the power to do it? He have the power to do it. And He can. Happily He will give it. But we are not ready for that. We are not ready to change our life. We are not ready to change our mind. Do we want our life to become a life of complete giving only? No. Because we have to take. We have to get something. But God is ever giving. He continuously gives. When love manifests inside of you, when God manifests through you, you continuously give. You don't expect anything. But we are so much with our expectation, we are so much with our need, we are so much with our want. If that is not purified yet, how would that manifest for? How would that awake inside of you? That's why we stay in a dormant state, because we are attached to that dormant state, and we have made that dormant state a regular practice throughout our lives. If we are not happy in one life, okay, I have not got a mother which didn't love me, I didn't have a good father, I didn't have a good business, I didn't have this, and I didn't have that. We build up. Don't think that your thought is just going like that. How many thoughts do you think about? How many positive thoughts do you think about? And how many negative thoughts do you think about? Thought is what create the action that we are bind to this reality, which we can call it karma. It is our thought, our mind, that create that. It's not the action of the outside. The action of the outside can be wonderful, but if you are not doing it from a joyful perspective, you're not doing it from a happiness point perspective, you're not enjoying, you're doing your sadhana, yes, I am doing it because Guruji have asked, or I'm doing it because I have to do it. There is not that great joy of enthusiasm inside of you. I am doing something because I want to do it. Then it will be very difficult. How many of you look forward to do your sadhana? You see? How many are excited when you are doing your sadhana? Not at the beginning, what I'm saying, continuously. Because at the beginning, everybody is very excited. It goes very high, peak, and then after that it drops down and go down. So you see, if you don't have that enthusiasm to purify yourself, you expect that 1 hour of meditation that you do, you will attain enlightenment. You think that you have practiced meditation for 1 year, I shall have realization. Yes, something have changed, but not yet realization. Imagine Lord Buddha himself have to meditate for 6 years to be able to control his mind. 6 years. I don't think that anyone here is even greater than Lord Buddha himself, no? Maybe among you there is some great souls, but the whole process of that firstly is to transform your mind, We want to be spiritual, but with the same mindset. That is not possible. Firstly, you see, we go through that process of reincarnation on and on and on because we have built up a deep relationship to this material reality. Like I said earlier, we didn't have something, we have an expectation that next life we will have it. We were not happy in this life, maybe next life we will be happy. We didn't attain realization, or maybe next life we will attain realization. So we're already creating a reality for next life, So when you have already created this reality for next life, how can you escape that? Not possible. So we have to guard our mindset, how we think. It is not through the action of the outside. We can do whatever we want. That's what Krishna said to Arjun in the battlefield. At the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, Arjun was very lamenting. I don't want to fight these people. They are my family. How can I fight them? I don't desire anything. Every excuses. But Bhagwan didn't say, okay, let's pack up and run away now. Nah? What did he say to him? He said, no, this is your dharma. You must fight. So you ask him one question. All these people have come. All this great king have assembled and standing by you. Why do you think they did that? Because they look at you. They know Arjun. You are a great warrior. Because of your greatness as a warrior, they stand by you. And if they are standing by you, how can you run away? Then he said, what they have done to your wife, would you like that somebody like that rule the country? What will happen with all the women and all the girls, They will not be treated nicely. And Krishna said, I have taken responsibility as a charioteer to come to you. So by any means, I will make you fight. So Bhagwan gave the Bhagavad Gita to Arjun. But the Bhagavad Gita is a life journey, It's about rediscovering yourself. Not that self which the mind, the body, or the intellect knows. Rediscovering that which energized everything. That is the Atma itself. And that is the point, you see. We know everything logically, but realization is completely different. We can read a lot. Yes, it is like this, but when would that happen? Yes, we are into this reality. We are into this cycle of birth and death because we have created it. Constantly we are creating it. Yesterday I was saying, in the satsang, you see, when the Guru come in, everybody is bowing down. This is an act of humility, an act of, reverence. But what is the most important thing is that which mindset are you bowing down? It is not the bowing down in itself. It's your mindset. It is which attitude are you doing that? So in your sadhana also, in your spiritual practices, when I'm talking about sadhana, I'm talking about spiritual practices. With which attitude do you do that? God can end everything, but first you have to manifest that divinity inside of you. You have to awake that blissful state inside of you. If that blissful state don't awake, you're not ready. So life is about to make you ready for that. Otherwise, you are stuck in the cycle of birth and death continuously, again and again. You will keep doing the same thing because you are used to do that. When you are used to do something, you will do it again and again. This is the nature of human mind. When we are used to do something, we will like to carry on doing it. And then the Guru come and say, no, that have to stop. It's a big challenge, no? Then who you would listen? To your mind or to the word of the Satguru? That is also a challenge because it's not an easy thing to do. So, if you want to go out of that cycle of birth and death, start working of changing how you think firstly, which is very easy. Yes or no? You see, even that, Krishna said it in the Gita, in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna asked Krishna, it's very difficult to control the mind. And Krishna agreed with him that yes, it is indeed very difficult. Arjuna said that it is much easier to control the wind than controlling the mind. I said, yes, totally agree with you. But it is not impossible. If you want really your mind to change, like you have repetitively, in your mind you have a certain recording that continuously say, you are miserable, you are unhappy, you are ugly, you are this, you are that, It is constantly playing inside of you. Because that's what you base your life upon. You have based your life upon what others, how they see you. If somebody tell you, you are beautiful, you take it upon, yes, I am beautiful. Somebody tell you, you are terrible, they put it inside of you, yes, I am terrible. So if somebody tell you that you are ugly, you put that inside of you, I am ugly. So you start playing that recording inside of you. If you keep listening to such old recording, you will never be free. That's why when you go on the spiritual path, first thing is that change your mindset. Try to be positive. I'm not saying that you have to become positive, because it's very difficult to be positive. It's very easy to be negative. Negativity is like very quickly people change their mindset. But to be positive, it takes an effort. So Bhagavan Krishna said to Arjuna also, with constant practice to be positive, you will be able to change your mindset. And if your mindset have changed, if the way you start thinking about you have changed, naturally, everything that you are running towards will come to you. You don't need to run towards God. If you have transformed yourself, He will run to you. There's a beautiful story of a saint called Savtamali. Have you heard about it? No. The devotee knows about it, I know. Savtamali was a gardener. And he lived, there's a very famous pilgrimage place called Pandharpur. And Savtamali lived only 15 kilometers away from Pandharpur, or 30 kilometers, I can't remember really. Anybody? 30?
1 hour drive.
Yeah, can be 30 kilometers, 1 hour drive. So Savtamali, he was a great and staunch devotee of Lord Krishna. Because in Pandharpur, the deity there is Lord Vitthal. And everybody goes there to have his darshan. But Savtamali himself have never gone to Pandharpur. In spite of living very near, he have never gone to Pandharpur. For him, as a gardener, he said, that is the garden of Vitthal. And this vegetable, they are all the property of Vitthala. So whatever I'm doing is for Vitthala. So whatever he will be doing, he will continuously chant the name of Vitthal. There was not a single moment that Vitthal, Bhagavan Krishna's name was not on his lips. Continuously he will chant Vitthal, Vitthal, Vitthal. That's what we were singing earlier. No, Ram Krishna Hari. This is Lord Vithala himself. So, not a single time he will go there. Everybody will come, pass by his place, and said, "Why you don't come with us?" I said, "If I go, who will look after this place?" So for him, he will perceive Lord Vithala in his creation. He will perceive it, Lord Vithala, in everything what we do. In each action of him, he will be a service to Lord Vithala. So he didn't have any, thought of, I should go to the pilgrimage to Pandharpur to have darshan of Lord Vithala. So Bhagwan Vitthal, when he was together with another two saints called Namdev and Gyaneshwar, he wanted to go to Savtamali. So you see, Savtamali never thought that I want to go to see Lord Vithala. But Lord Vithala, by himself, by his own accord, said, no, I want to go to Savtamali. So he enact a leela, he enact a play, but he said to Sandhyaneshwar and Namdev Maharaj, said, catch me if you can. Oh, there's a movie. So he started running, and these other two were running behind him. So his pace is much more faster than them. So he ran faster than the other two. So he arrived in front of Savtamali garden, and he saw Savtamali. He said, Savtamali, please save me. There is two thieves behind me. So Savtamali looked at him, and he was shocked and said, who can save you? You are the Lord of the universe. I said, there is two thieves. I can't. I have to hide. And Savtamali looked at him and said, where can I hide you? You are everywhere. You are in the vegetable. You are in me. You are in the tree. You are in everything. This is the state of somebody which is fully surrendered. Somebody which mind is fully absorbed in God. They perceived God in his creation. Not only in one place, because you see, this is very narrow. Say, oh, okay, when we go only to one place, then we can find God. No. Anywhere, anytime. Then he laughed and said, how can I hide you? Where to hide you where you are not present? You are everywhere. So Savtamali said, okay, as you are insisting, there was a sickle nearby. He took the sickle, pierced his stomach, and opened his stomach, and said, you go inside my stomach. So Lord Vitthal went inside his stomach, and the stomach closed, but his little, you see, Krishna wear pitambara, which is Lord Krishna wear yellow dhoti. His clothes is yellow. So a piece of his clothes was left outside. So when Bhagwan was inside, Savtamali was filled with that bliss. And he was just sitting there absorbed into Lord Krishna inside of him. So meanwhile, the two thieves came and was asking, there is a young boy who have come here. Did you see? I said, Savtamali remained silent. Didn't say anything. I said, we know he have passed by here because of his smell. Then his footprint is here. This is a Chandan footprint. And the smell of Tulsi was in the air. This is the fragrance of Lord Krishna himself. Wherever Lord Krishna is, there is always Tulsi Devi there. So the fragrance of Tulsi was all around, and the footprint of Lord Krishna was there. So saying that, he said, where did you hide him? So he said, can you tell us where Lord Vitthal is? So Savtamali looked at them and said, Vithala is everywhere. So yes, we know he's everywhere. But we are looking for that little boy who have run this side. And we know, you know who we are talking about. And Savtamali didn't say anything. But then they noticed that this little piece of clothes was hanging from his stomach. And said, you have hid it inside of you. He went inside of you. I said, yes. Then they implore Lord Vithala to come out. Lord Vithala came out. And then Lord Vithala revealed that all this Leela, his play that he have done, is just to come to Savtamali. When you become such a magnet of love, when you have been cleansed completely from all your impurity, you start to shine that divinity. And God will run to you. He will come to you. And this is the beauty of bhakti, the beauty of devotion. You know, where we don't need to run to Him. You know. Whatever you do, carry on doing it. Just change your attitude towards how you're doing it. Live your life, but let your mind be upon me. That's what Krishna said. Fight, but let your mind be upon me. In a very simple way, because you see, nowadays everybody is so busy. To do big sadhana is not possible. So Nama Japam is much easier. You know? So that's why, you see, whatever you do, if you change your attitude, how you do your job, how you live your life, that realization or that manifestation of God will happen naturally inside of you. Why did God arrange it so that in nature, animal eat each another? Why can't it be beautiful arranged so that no one kill? Well, look, everybody have to eat now. Animal are made in such a way that, you see, human being, when they reproduce only very little, na? I mean, if you hardly have a child, you will have one or two. But animals, very often, they have a lot of children. So nature knows how to balance itself, you know. So each animal, they have been created for a certain purpose. You know? So they also have to eat, no? Imagine you go and tell a lion to become vegetarian. It will be very difficult. Probably the lion will say, first I will eat you firstly, then I will consider later on. You come with a nice advice. So nature, the animal normally, they act into also balancing the ecosystem itself. But human, on the other hand, why do you eat meat? That is my question to you. Because humans are not meant to eat meat. Why do you eat meat? Because of the taste, because it is filling. But in reality, no, it is not. Eating dead things doesn't lead you anywhere. No. When you were born, a lion, when it is born, what does the lion baby, the cubs eat? Meat. That's what the mother will bring. No? But when a baby is born, does the baby have meat to eat? Or do you drink milk? Mothers, tell me, what do you feed your child with? No? Your breast milk, no? That's what you feed your child with. And every animal who have been breastfeeding, they are all herbivores. They are all plant eating. They are not carnivores. Those which is carnivore will eat animal. But what have we done? No. From that we have found easy solution. No. We have made our body become a cemetery. Because corpse goes where? Where do you eat, put corpse? Huh? Please answer me. Cemetery. Why not eating it? This is also meat. Huh? You love your dogs, no? Yes or no? You have dogs? You have pets? You love them dearly, yes or no? You like to eat them? When they died, you can eat them. No, you will never do that. Because they are pets, no? But if a meat is very designed nicely and packed beautifully and in the fridge there, in the, let's say, in the store, or happily you will eat it. You don't think that that was an animal also. That had life also. But you just munching, finish. What you eat have a deep impact also upon your brain. It have a deep impact upon your spiritual process also. It have a deep impact upon your health also. So that's what you have to start watching, what you are eating. Let the animal eat whatever they have to eat. No. This is the balancing of nature. They are made in that way. But you have the choice to have a healthy living or not. What you are putting inside of your body is important also. You want your body to be a cemetery? Then keep putting carcasses inside. Put corpse inside. That will make you sick. That's why you see so many people are falling sick. Because that impact upon the mind, and the mind, when the mind is very agitated, the mind become unhealthy. When the mind become unhealthy, it will reflect upon your body. There's still time. Look at what you eat. No. And if you come to a solution to tell the tiger or the lion to be vegetarian, please tell me. We will bring you there. I have, I know people who have a lion farm in South Africa. It would be a very good choice. I will. It is you who wrote this question. Okay, when I go to South Africa next time, you come with me. I'll present you Mr. Lion and Mrs. Lioness. You know, when I visited that farm once, there was a little cub, of lion who came running. For sure, I was a bit bigger that time, and so he jumped on me and bite me here. So I don't think he was very joyful and playful with me. He was so saying, like, in the cartoon you see ready-made chicken cooked nicely. That for sure he was saying that's a nice food. So. Mataji, you have pet at home. They're vegetarian.
Jai Gurudev. Just a little question. Why all classical doctors, therapists, when they hear about vegetarian diet, and I'm telling them that it's for my health, healthy, they always say that it's not for healthy, and after 5 or 7
It's simple. If they have to tell you that it is for healthy reason, then they have to start changing their own diet. And they don't want to change the diet. They don't want to change themselves. So that's why they have to tell you, no, it is not.
But my husband, he has like a gastronomic illness, and we came for maybe 3 gastroenterologists, and all of them say if you don't start to eat fish and meat, you will never like be healthy. And he really so disappointed about it because it's 1 year how he vegetarian.
And he started eating again because they said
1 week ago only, yes, because
very sad.
there was 3 therapists who said that you can't be healthy without it.
And he's healthy now?
Not sure, but sorry, but we are actors, and it's really difficult for us to be vegetarian because
the biggest muscle bodybuilder, he's vegan.
Schwarzenegger, I thought I watched this film with my husband actually, and this film inspired him to be vegetarian with me.
Then tell him carry on being vegetarian.
Thank you. Jai Gurudev.
It's normal because you see, if somebody don't want to change, they will do anything, they will say anything to convince you that you are wrong. This is the nature of human. If they agree with you, that means they have to say that we are wrong. Would they say that they are wrong? No, they will never say that they are wrong. That's why they will always say that you are wrong. How to continue believing in your work when it does not bring the desire to profit, but it is pleasing to the soul and benefit other people. How to continue your path when you want to give up. See, to give up is very easy. Because you see, when I have heard this question very often, oh Guruji, I have great ideas, I want to do this and that. And then along the line, I can't carry on. Because, of course, financially it's difficult. There's a devotee in Portugal. She have a shop and she bring healthy food and everything to the people. But of course, financially, it's very difficult. Every time she come and ask me, Guruji, I would like to close. And I said, no, don't close. And funny thing is that now that shop is making wonderfully. You see, we are not patient enough. We set a goal and said, I will do this for 5 years. No, within 5 years, I have to become billionaire. But it's not only, you see, if you want to be successful in what you are doing, it's not only the work. No? We can work very hard, because very often people think that if we work, there's a beautiful story actually. A man wanted to do he wanted to attain realization. And he approached a guru and said, the guru, if I meditate 4 hours a day, when will I attain realization? Guru Maharaj closed his eyes and said, if you meditate 4 hours a day, you will attain realization in 10 years. Ah, okay. And then he said, if I meditate 8 hours a day, when will I attain realization? The Guru closed his eyes and said, you will attain realization in 20 years. Strange calculation. I said, yes. Look, you better meditate for 2 hours or even 1 hour in a relaxed state. You will attain realization in 5 years' time. When stressing yourself, try to attain realization. There's many people do that. You see, the thing that if I do quantity-wise, the result will be much better. No, it is not about the quantity. It's a quality, you know. And quality take time. If you want to achieve something great, it take time. It take endurance. It is, you see, whoever have achieved greatness in business-wise or spiritual-wise, it is through tremendous effort. And the effort was not easy. But they never let go. They never say, oh, it's too much, I stop. That idea what they have inside is so strong. That seeds which have been put inside of them is so strong. But they don't, until that attain maturity, they don't drop away. Do we see? When a farmer is have plowed the earth and have planted the seeds, once he have planted the seeds, does he see the seeds crack and open up? Does he see the seeds have rooted first, then the germination happen? No, he doesn't see that. When will it see? When he sees the first sprout out of the earth. Then he see that yes, they are all growing. But that growth have long time been put inside. That growth have a long time been happening, but you can't perceive it. The seed who have put that idea to make something wonderful have already created its root. It starts to germinate, but it's on the surface. And you stop watering it, you go away. How would you achieve something great? You will never be able. If you don't persevere, if you don't perceive in what you have put your mind, or that great seeds, that plant will not grow. That business will never flourish if you just feel that yes, it is only for profit that I'm doing it, then you will never achieve anything. In the life of whoever have achieved, Mr. Honda, for example, who created the Honda car, do you know how his life was? He was studying in the university and he created an engine, and everybody was making fun of him. They never trust him. They never believe in him. They were always making fun of him. That will never work. First prototype didn't work. Second prototype didn't work. Third prototype worked. Then Toyota asked him to make something, but they were not too happy with him. They discharged of his work. But he never let go. He carried on. In his garage, he started making motorcycle. So how he started making motorcycle? He took a bicycle and attached an engine to it. That was the beginning of motorcycle, Meanwhile, World War started. America was attacking Japan afterwards. Everything destroyed. So they rebuilt everything again. He went and wrote 15,000 letters he wrote to every store asking for help to help him manufactured the motorcycle. Everybody refused. He didn't let go. He built his own motorcycle and everybody was looking, wow, this is very practical. They order from him more and more. Then earthquake happened, destroyed everything. All his business was destroyed. Then another war happened. He didn't let go. He carried on doing it, what he have to do. Nowadays, it's such a big company. So you see, it's very easy to let go of something. Very easy. If you have been, they say, I don't like this, I will do another thing. No, I will tell you, persevere a little bit longer into it. Change your attitude towards people who come to you. You will see how your business will flourish itself. It is very much important to see. If we dropped in our sadhana, in our meditation, also the same. If we have been meditating for some times now, I don't have any result, I will change. I've been following that master for some time now, I don't see any result, I'm going to change. We set a certain idea of things, but yet we don't. It is not when we want it to happen. It will happen the moment we have had that growth inside of us. When we break through, we come out of the earth itself. If we stay under the earth, only nobody will know that we are germinated. You have started to grow already. You yourself will not perceive that inside of you, but you are growing. Because you see, your idea of growth must be that I see a bubble of light appeared here, or I see what people like to see sometimes when they meditate. What do you like to see when you meditate? To feel something, you like to see some light here, but then maybe you have problem with your eyes, Sometimes when you have problem with the eyes, you see bubble of light everywhere, white light, You have to be careful also of that. So if you are doing your job, and you have started something wonderful and you believe in what you are doing, Carry on doing it. Can a soul incarnate on planet Earth? On Earth, in a human body without going through all the evolutionary process. It is said that in order for the soul to acquire a human body, it have to go through a long way, having been reborn 8.4 million times. In this time measured in years, as we human understand, it is measured in another unit of time. Actually, there is many great souls which doesn't go through the process of going through evolution. According to the Shastra, according to the scriptures, they say, to attain a human body is not an easy thing. Because we think that we have attained this human body as a product of, biological product of, our parents only. No, it is not just that the fact. The fact is that it takes a lot for one to attain a human body. For evolutionary, for one going through that evolution, the soul have migrated in many life forms, experience all creation in all the ways. Then you attain a human body. That's why the saints say that it's not an easy thing, to attain this body. No. We take it for granted because we are here. We don't know the journey which the soul have gone through. No. But yes, there is some great being that didn't need to go through all this process. They come as a reminder. They come to remind everyone, but what are you doing with your life? Awake. Don't be in that dormant state anymore. As long as you're into that dormant state, you will never realize the beauty of life itself. So only when you start to realize, only when you start to be aware, but this life doesn't happen just like this, you will start to appreciate life itself. And when you start to appreciate life, you start to give gratitude to life. You start to be grateful that yes, I have this life and I can do something wonderful. When you ask people which is ill, which is sick, what would you like? He said, I would like to have some time. I would like to have some moment. When you know that you don't have that time, then you start to value what you have. And yet, when you have that time, you are wasting that time in fertile things. How many times, you have wasted? We waste our time, if we have a lifespan of 70 years, half is gone in sleeping, which means you have 30 years. This 30 years, would you say that you're living your life in this 30 years? No. Take 8 hours every day, 40 hours a week out, working very hard, which is important to work. But in which attitude you are working? You are not working, you are slavering yourself. Working very hard. Let's take out of the 30 years, 15 years out. You have 15 years left. So out of these 15 years, how many moments were you happy really? Which you can say, yes, I am living. Let's take half of that out because you were not really enjoying this life. You were worrying. You were, in anxiety. You were always miserable. 7.5 years out. So how long have you have as life? 7.5, 7.5 years only. But you can say, yes, I have lived. And that's what you call life. So, you see, to be able to live really, it's important to start being grateful firstly. Being grateful, the moment you wake up in the morning, say, yes, thanks, I'm still alive. When you go to bed at night, do you know you will wake up the next day? You don't know. You can't know but tomorrow. But yet you have long plan, big plan for life. You don't even know that tomorrow you will wake up. It happened to my spiritual mother last month. They have everything in life. They wanted to give me a surprise in Bali when I was there. They planned it. They didn't say anything. And 1 month ago, while going to bed with her husband, she was fine, having dinner, everything, preparing herself to go to bed. On the bed, she started coughing. She coughed for 30 seconds, fell down, her soul gone. Ciao. Back home. But yet, we are so worried about life when in a fraction of a second, it can depart. Start living now, Start enjoying every moment you have. Because that's what you have, and that will never come again. The time you have wasted is wasted. But you can start living now, Be grateful about life, Because that life doesn't come every time the same way, Doesn't think that now you are here, in Latvia, you have a nice life. Don't think that next life would be the same. It is through good merit that you have been born in this country. It is through good merit that you have a good life. It is even a greater merit that you are on the spiritual path. Because that don't come to everybody. Because it's something which is inside. A continuation from the past itself that you are going through. It is not new to you. It may appear very new. It may appear very, fancy. It may appear very curious. You have come here out of curiosity. But the spiritual journey, it's a very long journey. But you have started already long time. That is just a reminder only. It's a reminder to bring you back, Reminder to awake from the slumber. Reminder that there is more to what you think life is about. And this is the beauty of life itself. To enjoy every moment at the grace of God. To enjoy every moment, but that preciousness, that treasure. Don't wait when you don't have that time to do that. Do it when you still have time. Once that is gone, you can't say, oh, you see, in life I was miserable, then after that I will become an angel. Very often people think that, you see. They think that, I'm living my life now, I don't need to do anything. But I believe in God. Because I believe in God, God will put a red carpet for me. And I will go to some fancy heaven. No. And because I go to the church or I go to the temple, he's indebted towards me because of that. No. It's not that easy, actually. So that's why, you see, you are stuck in that cycle of birth and death, because you have to think that it is very easy. If your heart is open, then everything becomes easy. If love for you, gratitude will be there. Then everything becomes easy. Otherwise, very difficult. Then you're stuck again. If you have, like I said, if you have not, then there will be another life. If you have not have a good husband or wife, you have not have good children, you have not have a good bank balance, then you're looking forward for the next life to do that. And it will come. Don't know when. This is same question was asked to Krishna. The mystery of karma. A question after the Mahabharata war. Dhritarashtra, the blind king, asked Lord Krishna, why my 100th son was killed? And Lord Krishna said, that is a very long karma. This is a mystery, because we don't know when karma will act, in how it will act. So he said to Dhritarashtra, in one of your life, 100 lives back, you used to be a hunter and you were hunting a bird. You were with your arrow running behind that bird, but you always missed. So out of anger, what you did, you kill 100 birds. And then he said, okay, I kill 100 birds, but why now I have to go through that ordeal, Why I have to go through that pain? And said, well, you have had 50 lives back, that happened 50 lives back. It needed 50 lives for you to have enough merit to earn 100 children, 100 sons. So you see, it is not in one life to next life, You may create some karma right now, you don't know when would you pay that karma. So that's why, you see, when you are on the spiritual path, it makes you more aware of your action also, So don't think that if I'm doing bad right now, bad thing will happen. Maybe God have changed his plan, you see, because sometimes you see it happening already in this life itself. So are you sleeping? No? Good. Let's sing one bhajan. There's a nice bhajan by Guru Arjan Das. In that bhajan, he's talking about the mystery of God. He said, Lord, there is so many of your Leela, but I'm a fool, I don't know any of them. Who can fathom your mystery? Nobody can fathom the mystery of God. कौन जाने गुण तेरे, कौन जाने गुण तेरे,
कौन जाने गुण तेरे, कौन जाने
विठ्ठल विठ्ठल जय हरि विठ्ठल. Good. Now you're awake? Good. We still have time? Good. Now I'm asking because I was in Japan last week and we were having satsang. Was so much engrossed in the satsang and it was already 10 o'clock. So it passed 1 minute only. And the man was there. You have to stop. And I thought that was already 1 hour. So it was just 1 minute. So I guess here in Latvia it's not the same, eh? Now I was telling, I love the Japanese, I love their punctuality, but I can't cope with it. It stresses me. I would like to hear advice on how to maintain patience. This is one word which everybody don't like. If I ask what is the word that they don't like, is patience. How to deepen self-inquiry and how to maintain peace and joy within and around yourself while remaining in simplicity, truth and love. You have said it in your question itself. Simplicity, truth and love. It's everything which is very important in one life. Patience. You must be very patient to sit and listen to me for 2 hours. Yes or no? This is one thing that very often people ask, Guruji, I want to attain realization, but I want it fast. Give me the fastest way. Yeah, well, you see, if you are not patient in life, you don't achieve anything. And this is one quality which is very important to have. Especially if you're on the spiritual path, you have to have patience. But you see, we have been trained throughout our life, since small actually, but we have to do something very quickly. We don't have time. That's why we have to do very quickly. We don't have time to do the right things for us, When you ask somebody, come, let's do a Bhagavad Gita circle. Guruji, I don't have time for that. No. I'm busy. Come and do Om chanting. I can't. I'm busy. No. Since small, actually, you have been taught that in this rat race, you have to run. If you don't run, you will be left behind. No? And this is the attitude that we have adopt in our life, always running, always being impatient. If we want to meditate for 1 hour, God have to appear there. If he don't appear, not possible. It is wrong. Imagine, you're small. When you're a baby, you have all the time. You are free. You have that freedom. And the moment you start to grow up a little bit, you start to play. The first thing, you start playing with your toys. You start playing, you start to write. When you start writing, okay, let the child, it's writing. Then the child grow up a little bit, start playing outside in the courtyard. The child is roaming around, playing with the toys, everything. No time for that. The child go to school. No time for spiritual practice. No time for sadhana, nothing. No, you can't talk about our spirituality to our children, especially in this country. Modern age, you have to let the child do whatever they want. They can't, But when they grow up, they will decide by themselves. How many of you think like that, Many parents I have traveled around, they all say yes, especially in America, they said, oh, when they grow up, they will decide by themselves. This, when you have to give the samskaras already, you are giving the wrong samskaras to your kids itself. And then the base itself is not right. How would you build upon that? How would that child grow upon that? Yeah? So, no time already. You're busy playing. If you're not playing, you're busy studying. You have to study, You're in school, you have to study. No time for that. The child grow a little bit. Send the child to the ashram, to learn something good. No, have mercy, Guruji, on the child. The weekend, she can't come, he can't come, because whole week he was busy in school. No time. The child grow, adolescent. Do you have time at that time? No, you don't have time. You have time because that time you're playing love, You're busy changing lovers. That is the game. That's what you ask them to come for sadhana? No, I don't have time. When the child grow a bit, is in the university, don't have time. The child is growing, now it's time to get married. When would they have time to do the sadhana? When would they have time to chant the name of God? When would they have time to be with themselves? They can't. You are so much programmed in a certain system, but you are busy. You don't have time. You're married, you have to go to your honeymoon. What time would you have? You don't have time. After 9 months, baby is born, you don't have time. Another child is born, you don't have time. Another child is born, you don't have time. So like that, time is going, you're getting old. Now you have to marry your children. The children get married. You see the Indian lifestyles there. I'm looking at the Indian man here, he can adapt to that. Our parent, how, you have to worry for your children getting married. Children in married, grandchildren is there. Time is running, you're old already. Said, now Guruji, come. Do you have time to do some Bhagavad Gita? Do you have time to chant the name of God a little bit? No time, because now I have to look after my grandchildren. So you don't have time. So then you start having ache and pain, Guruji, come again. Let's do a little bit of spiritual sadhana. Yes, but I can't right now. I have pain. And I said, okay, I will try. And the moment you start trying, what play inside of your mind is all your old recording from past. So now I want to concentrate on Lord Krishna. Would Krishna come? No, he will not. Krishna is far away. What is very near to you? All the samskaras, all the things that you have built upon your mind, what you have filled your mind upon, that what will come. Because throughout life you didn't have time to sit quietly with yourself. You didn't have time to, I'm not telling you to sit and meditate, just to be with yourself and feel that love inside of you. Feel that life running inside of you. No, you didn't have time. You were busy in that rat race, like I said. Busy fulfilling the ideas of everybody else. Because we were very concerned about how people think about us. We are concerned about what we want to achieve. But we have not found time to look at ourselves firstly. Time have run. And now you want to sit and meditate. You want to build your relationship with God. It will become impossible. When you have time, you have to take that time, You have to take time in your life itself, not when it is too late. And when it is too late, what will play inside of your mind is all your old samskaras, Oh, I missed this. I didn't achieve that in life. Regret will awake inside of you. So with such regret what you have not achieved, what have happened like 50 years ago, that what will play inside of your mind. Can you be free from that? No, you can't be free from that. So it is time to sit with yourself. Put an appointment, not for somebody else. Have an appointment with yourself. We lack appointment with ourselves. We are always taking appointment outside, but we don't take appointment with ourselves, Just sit down. 15 minutes. And during this 15 minutes, forget everything. Even as busy as your life is, forget about it. Forget about everything. Once I was talking to a businessman, very prominent businessman from Mumbai, and I said, well, you're so busy, do you have time to do your sadhana, to do your spiritual practice? I said, yes. Whatever I do, wherever I am, I chant the name of Krishna. I'm always chanting his name. But one thing that I do, irrespective of how busy I am, I take half an hour with myself. So he sit down in his prayer room and I asked him, do you meditate? He said, no, I don't know how to meditate. But I enjoy the moment. I enjoy that peaceful, that quiet moment with myself. And I know Bhagwan is in front of me and I'm enjoying the time with him. It is between me and him. Every single day I do that. And it is so wonderful to see when somebody have an appointment like that, God have to be present. You see, we can say, yes, do this technique, do that technique to be patient. If you by yourself don't take that time to sit, if you by yourself doesn't put certain discipline and say, yes, I want it, nobody can do that for you. Now you don't have time, but tomorrow, when you're not well, you will have enough time in the hospital. And then it's too late. Because when you're in the hospital, your concentration will not be there. So try to sit 15 minutes. You can chant the name of God if you want. The most important thing is that you don't think about anything. Don't think about your worry. Don't think about your husband, your wife, your children. Forget everybody. That time is between you and your Creator. You and your God. Have that appointment on a daily basis. You will see how your life transforms. And automatically, you will become patient. How many of you sit with yourself for half an hour? Not doing anything? I'm not talking about sleeping, please. I just want to rectify that. Yeah. Half an hour? Okay, we have again less. At least 15 minutes, or try for 15 minutes. 10 minutes. 5 minutes. 2 minutes. I hope everybody will sit 2 minutes quietly every day. No? One minute? So the rest is 0 minute. Let's do one thing. Okay, as I see you very disciplined. Promise me one thing, you will sit 2 minutes every day with yourself. Can you promise that? I mean, please, a promise is a promise. You know, if you can't keep a promise, then you are not a good person. Okay, you promise me you will sit 2 minutes? How many of you promise? That's it. Maybe they didn't get the question what I'm asking for. You can translate it in your language. Just 2 minutes, not so much. Nobody. Hey Ram. Good. Okay. So you promise me you sit 2 minutes with yourself. This is also self-inquiry. Self-inquiry is not about looking at your life, yes, and say, culpa, say, I have done this wrong, I have done that wrong, I have to change this, I have to change that. You know, if you can't change it now, you will never be able to change anything. Yeah. I remember my dad, who was smoking a lot. He was smoking 2 packets of cigarettes every day. And one day he held a cigarette pack in his hand and said, I don't want you anymore. He crushed it and threw it away. Until today he have not smoked. So it's everything happened in a split of moment, you know. If you set your mind upon something, you will be able to do it. But that have to come from you. You know. Nobody can force you to love. You know. Love is something voluntary. I give my love, Selflessly, I give it to you. This is the beauty of loving, So everything that we do selflessly become beautiful. Like that, you transform yourself into a beautiful person. Not just on the outside, but you are transforming into the inside, your being itself. Because on the outside, everybody can transform. Everybody can appear, everybody can pretend. But when you are a beautiful being, you transform from within. And this is what I'm asking. If you want to find that peace, that joy, and that patience, you have to transform from within. What is the main and ultimate purpose of the Atma? This is next level. What is the purpose of the Atma? What is the dharma of a human being? My question to you. Mataji?
I think like the karma is to learn a lesson. Like we came here to learn like a lesson for our soul.
Well, life is a lesson, but it's not that the question. Now, what is the ultimate purpose of the Atma? What is the main and ultimate purpose of the Atma? That is true. That is the ultimate, But how do we do that? So I ask the question, what is the dharma of a human being? To? Doing good jobs.
Good jobs. Good,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
good
yeah.
things doing. I
Yes.
think this is dharma. No? No? Okay.
To love. That's it. It's simple like that. Somebody said it from behind. The first prime dharma, of a human being is to love. If you don't love, you can't achieve to the ultimate dharma, the ultimate purpose. You can do everything, you can work. Many people work, but doesn't mean that they achieve to that ultimate dharma. Many people learn and become great professor. They can talk on length about spirituality. They can talk a length on love. They can talk on length of any important subject, but doesn't mean that they are realized. So if you don't have love inside of you, you can't achieve anything. And that is the most important thing, that you have to understand. The prime dharma, firstly, that you can call yourself a human being. A human being is somebody which is embedded with love itself. Love makes you a human being. And love, that what carry you to your ultimate reality. So we are here, firstly, to know ourselves. That's what Bhagavan Krishna said in the Gita, meditate upon the self. Get to know who you are truly. So when you get to know who you are, the question doesn't finish here. Because, okay, fine, I know who I am, and then what? So that is the main purpose of the Atma, which unfolds itself, When I take time and get to know who I am truly, I want to know also where I come from. And how would I achieve back to that same state? The Atma want to journey that, And then the Atma will ask, but okay, where will I lead? Okay, I'll go from here where? There must be a place where I want to go. So where is that place where I want to be? For a bhakta, for a devotee, the place is the lotus feet of Sri Hari. For a devotee of the Lord, He is everything. And we want and long to be with Him. But to long to be with Him and just like that, it doesn't happen. We have to know Him firstly. So this is the next question is, who is He? We know who we are, but who is He? Which our soul longs to be with. We know everything when our mind, whenever we love somebody, we want to be with our beloved one, no? Yes or no? That's why you love the person. If you don't love the person, you don't want to be with that person. But when you have come to the point of the soul start to love, the soul can't love this reality. The soul can't love this manifestation, this limitation. Because the soul is not limited. The soul is unlimited. And the one which is unlimited, if you are unlimited, you can't love something which is limited. You have to love something which is unlimited. So we want to know who is that unlimited being is. So who is that unlimited being? He is Bhagwan Himself. So the main ultimate purpose of the Atma is to forge that relationship with the Supreme Lord Himself. So this is the main purpose of your Atma. Nothing else, Nothing in this reality your Atma is attached to. So it is a life journey of, your spiritual journey towards rediscovering firstly yourself, Firstly, by becoming a better human being, Very often I say, if you are not a better human being, what makes you different from others? Because you have bettered your life. You have transformed the way you think. If still you have the same way of thinking, you're just putting a tilak, putting a kantimala, or dress fancy and call yourself a devotee, but yet your mind is still the same, then you have not changed anything. Nothing have changed. Only the outside have changed, but not the inside. And you are far away from that. So if you want to be truly and fulfilling the ultimate of your dharma, that's why I said start taking time with yourself. Get to know yourself firstly, and get to know who Bhagwan is. That's why the saint said, but like Sant Meera said, Mere to Giridhar Gopal dusarana koi, which means only my Giridhariji is everything. There is nobody else than Him. Because my mind is webbed to Him. My mind is fully absorbed in Him. What else should I long for? So this is a state where a devotee have to become, where the mind is wedded to their beloved Lord. When the mind is wedded to the beloved Lord, it doesn't matter what happened on the outside. And that happened through service, actually. Love will awake, because very often we think that love comes first. No, love awake much later. First, we serve. We learn to serve in life. There's a beautiful story. Once, Guru Gobind Singh, he was sitting with all his devotees, thousands of devotees, and he asked, he said loudly, "I am thirsty." So one boy quickly jumped and rushed quickly to the well and take a glass and fill the glass with water and brought it to Guru Gobind Singh. Guru Gobind Singh looked at it, didn't take the glass. So he observed the hand of the boy. Then the boy offered the glass. He refused. Said, "It's dirty." Said, "No, it is not dirty. I washed the glass and it's clean water directly from the well. So it is not dirty." Then he looked at the hand and he said, "Yes, the water is not dirty, but the impurity of your mind have dirtied that water itself." He said, "What do you do?" Then he said, "But I am a prince. I have grown up in the palace, and it is the first time that I have served somebody. It is the first time that I brought water to somebody, because in the palace, whenever I want something, all the servant bring it. I want water, the servant bring the water. Whatever I do, my father provide for me everything." So Guru Gobind Singh said, "But that's why you are spoiled. That's why that water is contaminated, is dirty. Because you are not pure. You have not been purified." He said, "If you want to purify yourself, is honor through service." So that have touched him so deeply. But he stayed in the ashram. He said, "I have a determination. It is true what Guru Maharaj have said. I have to purify myself." So he started working in the kitchen. He started cleaning. He started washing the dishes and everything. So after months of working in the kitchen, he been humble. He have transformed. And there was such a joy when he was serving. So again, another instant, Guru Nanak Dev Ji asked again for water. This time he reluctantly get up and went to get water. So this time when he came with the water, Guru Nanak Dev Ji hold his hand and took the water and drank it straight away. And he looked at his hand, he said, "Yes, you have been purified." I said, "Yes, your feet get purified when you go to the darbar, you go to the doorstep of the Guru. But your Atma get purified only through service." So service is what purified the Atma. And when your Atma is purified, naturally love will awake. Yeah. Because when you serve, there's a different kind of joy that awakes inside of you. But I'm not doing it for myself, I'm doing it for somebody else. And that joy is a different kind of happiness. Whenever you are doing something for somebody else, you're more happy than when you want to do something for yourself. When you want to do something for yourself, you get very discouraged very quickly. I want to go to the gym. If I do it for myself, sometimes you become lazy, you will not do it. But if somebody is getting married and you have to look very elegant, you want your sister to get married and you want to look elegant for your sister, you will do it. We have Deepavali, Deepavali, everybody clean everywhere, all the house, everything is clean. Nobody get tired because they are doing it for something great. So like that, it awake a certain joy, you see, for service. Love awake. And when love truly awake, when the ego is not present, when I'm talking about love, is the absence of the ego. Because whatever we do in life, we always do it to please our ego. But our ego can never be pleased. More we want to please our ego, it will never be pleased. So service destroyed that egoism inside of us. So when love is present, like I said, Bhagwan, by his own accord, he comes. That's what's called darshan. He comes in so many ways to bless. So that is the ultimate goal of one life, to purify oneself, to awake that love, and to forge the relationship with Bhagwan by knowing him firstly. And when you know him, you know he's the ultimate goal itself. Jai Gurudev, all of you. I can't answer all the questions. I have answered only 6 of the questions. So.